I've been born and raised in London, and until recently, I didn't know about the London Stone. This weird, mysterious stone that is apparently the oldest thing, or even predates the city of London itself. So this is the London Stone as it is today. It was rehoused in 2016 into a brand new building on Cannon Street, which is only about 18 meters from its original location, which apparently was before the Romans. It's been here a very, very, very long time, and it's got a really cool and weird history all throughout London history, and about why nobody moved it and what it does. It shows up on an ancient map from the 1500s, London Stone. It was in the middle of the street, and it was opposite a church called St Swithin's Church that isn't there anymore. It's an old medieval church. But interesting to note that old medieval churches are often built on the site of older places of worship or more ancient revered sites. It was first officially referenced in a manuscript dating to 1098, which is like super old manuscript, and it was in like a property ledger, so it was referencing who was buying or selling what, and it was called London Stone, the London Stone. In the 1400s, there was a dude who was having a bit of a war, and he like came in from Kent, and he came to the London Stone, smashed the London Stone with his sword, and then declared himself the Lord of London, which apparently everyone was a little bit confused at why he did that, or why hitting the stone with a sword made him the Lord of London. I don't know where he got that idea from, but it all sounds a bit very King Arthur and the Stony. It was referenced again in the audit after the Great Fire of London in 1666, because apparently it was damaged. It used to be bigger and it got a bit de-sized, but it did survive the Great Fire of London. The rest of the buildings did not. So in 1743, after being in the middle of the road for over 1,000 years, if not more, they decided to move it because it was a traffic hazard, because horses and carriages kept smashing into it. And the stone was fine, but it was smashing carriages to pieces. So they were like, let's just move this. So they built a church, another church that again is not there today, and it was built into the walls to sort of keep it there. Then in World War II, this church got bombed to pieces. Yet again, the stone survives. And in 1962, they built a brand new building, which became like offices, and it was really ugly. And from the 60s up until the last decade, this is where the London Stone was. It's so ugly. It was in a WH Smith, which you don't know what that is in England. It's like a really crap kind of chain of stores that sell like really overpriced sweets and books. It's really bad. And it was just behind this like metal grate thing. Like, not good. Okay, so what do we know? So the stone is a type of limestone, and they think that they know where it came from. It came from a place called Rutland. And apparently the Romans moved a lot of limestone from Rutland when they were like building and marking out the original London. And it's interesting when you look at a map of this is original Roman London, the London Stone is kind of bang in the center of like the Roman London area. Interesting. And apparently, even more than just being in the center of the whole of London, it was in the center of a Roman building itself, which they think was like the governor's house. So the question is, was it there before the Romans arrived and they built kind of London around the London Stone and centered it as a thing? Or for some reason did they put it in the center of what they wanted to build? Interestingly, when you look at maps of, these are all old Roman roads, there's like 7 roads and they all lead to the London Stone. Interesting. I have a feeling that the London Stone might have been here before the Romans, and that maybe even this is a tiny part that's left, and originally it was much, much bigger and it was stuck into the ground. They said it was deep into the ground. I have a feeling that this might be an original piece of an older stone monument that predates the Romans arriving, because they have found evidence of, even though London was like the first settlement of London, but in the areas around London, they have found archaeological evidence for circular housing dating to around 2000 BC. And what did people in England love to do in the BCs? We loved to make stone monuments. We loved it. We loved it. Couldn't get enough of building these bad boys. So I'm thinking that it's really possible that the London Stone is actually a tiny piece of a much older structure, and that's kind of cool. And it's still there today, just sitting in a wall, and hopefully it'll be there for another 1,000 years. And who knows, maybe if you do smash your sword against it, you also will be King of London. One can hope.